Join us this episode of Chuffed Adventures as we begin our clinic on Viveros and Joel has an up-close encounter with nature's giants. Before we left Kasaya, Joel did a quick repair on our saloon windows to stop the water dripping in during every squall. A bit of good sealant goes a long way on board, and with that job done and a puppy rescue under our belt, we were off to Isla Viveros, an approximately 8-mile journey. As you can see, Joel's very, very busy. There's another whale right here. What are you doing?
Is it sleeping?
It potentially is asleep. It's just sitting there.
Maybe it's dead.
It's not dead. I saw it blow a hole thing.
The baby was just kind of a bit restless, and I think the mother was trying to sleep, and then when I came over, the mother just decided, all right, I've had enough, everybody's bothering me. You know, typical mom, just can't get a moment to themselves.
Was it scary?
Oh, it was terrifying, but a good terrifying. I mean, you feel very, very small. I mean, when I'm sitting next to her fin there, it's, you know, significantly bigger than me.
You're a lucky man.
And the one flick of the tail just displaced so much water that it stirred up all the thermocline, so all the cold air, the cold water that's sitting at the bottom just came rising up underneath me, and yeah, they just swam right underneath me, and
I'm well jealous, but I don't know that I could have, I don't think I could have done that. That was scary. And we are almost at the marina.
Well, it's not, it's a couple of...
It's docks.
Docks, yeah.
It's docks.
He's probably sitting there laughing his head off.
Don't wreck any of my surgical gear.
No problem.
Oh man, boat life. After rowing all of our equipment to shore, the local marina manager invited us to dock up for free to make running the clinic a little easier. It was our first time docking Chuffed, but we made a nice smooth entrance. So we basically came in between those two poles because there's actually a wooden dock behind us as well, and then just made sure our mast wasn't in line with any pylons, and we did a pretty good job, I think, for our first time docking. With Chuff sitting pretty, we set up our surgery area under the cool cabana at the marina. With access to water, electricity and protection from the weather, it was the perfect surgery suite. We also went out to set cat traps in the hope of having a busy next day. Looks like our first patient is arriving via their personal water taxi. So the chicken has a wound right near its crop that's infected. So we've just given it a clean and we're seeing if we can get some of this pus out. I explained to Rafa, the local launcher driver, that chickens form a very hard pus, which means infection can't escape easily. We cleaned out all this caseous material with a light sedation and some local anaesthetic. We then gave Guero, meaning warrior, a dose of pain relief and anti-inflammatories. We sent him home with oral antibiotics. Guero overall seemed pleased with our services and even left a small gift. I'm gonna go check out our cat traps, see if we've caught anything for our first night. Empty. With no cats and time to kill, we decided to tackle a very important boat job, putting some ID on our girl. Joel prepped the hull with fine wet to dry sandpaper and did a final clean with alcohol. Aluminium very quickly coats itself in a protective layer of aluminium oxide, so it has to be treated exactly right to get things to stick. We then applied the decals. Overall, it looked pretty good. Chuffed! So we just finished our first surgery day. We're both a little exhausted. I woke up this morning and was complaining to Joel about how we hadn't done any surgeries and the only patient I'd had was a rooster the whole time we've been here. And then I heard boats coming to the dock. We'd just woken up, it was 7 AM. And all of a sudden all these dogs are getting out of the boats, and yeah, these guys had heard we were here and brought six dogs for us to spay today. I can't even think or speak, I'm sorry. And yeah, everything went really, really well. The anesthetics went well, and all of the little girls were awake and walking around and really happy after surgery, which was really awesome. Joel did an amazing job with the anesthetics and you know, monitoring the patients, especially since this is his first time doing such a big day like this as well. And yeah, we're really, really happy and very, very grateful for everybody who supported us to get here as well. The guys who brought the dogs over really loved their little girls, and we're really, really grateful that there's finally a vet in these islands. At the moment, they have to travel, depending on what boat they're in and the speed, 3 to 8 hours to get to a veterinarian. So they're very, very grateful that we're here and able to do the surgeries for them. So yeah, it was a good day. Exhausting, but a great day. We had 6 little girls in to be spayed, all of whom were so excited about a comfy bed, they just lay around whether they'd been sedated or not. It was a real learning experience for us too. Our first big surgery day, administering anesthetics, monitoring patients, and performing the surgery itself.
Posible mañana más animales.
All 6 girls recovered well, but it wasn't the departure from the clinic I was used to. After a quick spear, we were back on board, ready for bed and another surgery day to come. This is our first patient, little Susie. Susie's only had some pre-med so far, but she's very sweet. She has got a little bit of a sore eye on this side, but it's an old injury, so we'll have a better look while she's asleep, but we think it's been there for quite some time. A quick warning, we've got surgery scenes ahead. We began Susie's spay with Joel monitoring the eye reflexes, heart and respiratory rates and jaw tone to help him decide when more anaesthetic was needed. We discovered that Susie actually had a condition called pyometra, which is a severe infection of the uterus that can be fatal, so this surgery, along with a course of oral antibiotics at home, came at the exact right time to mean she'll not suffer from this disease any longer. This is little Tota, and she actually had quite bad bloody diarrhea today, so we didn't proceed with surgery, but we did give her some fluids and she's going home with some antibiotics so we can do her hopefully next week. We have Guardia, TV, little Susie, and Akura, all recovering from their surgery today. Akuro. It was another great day of life-changing treatment for these dogs, not to mention the amazing views of islands, ocean and whales from the clinic. With no luck catching cats, we decided to take the traps to the local work camp to get their pet cat desexed and to treat the local little dogs. Joel somehow got roped into a bit of gardening on the way. The original plan was that the animals would be transported to us at the marina, but after a 20-minute, bumpy, muddy tractor ride, we decided it was probably not a good idea for post-operative patients. We decided we would actually move Chuffed around to the other side of the island later this week. With some time on our hands the next day, we decided to do a bit of exploring. The island was under development, but in recent times this came to a halt, with big, beautiful, half-built houses falling into disrepair by the ocean.
Just having a look at where we're going to go tomorrow to get to the camp. It's the low tide, so we probably need to just make a mental note of where all these big rocks are.
It was finally time for some relaxing. So we didn't end up having any patients come today, so we decided to take a little break, get some internet access down here at the beach and go for a little swim out in that beautiful ocean. It's probably the best thing about the life we're living at the moment and the work we're doing is, you know, we can just come to the beach for the day and have a bit of a break and things, which is really, really awesome. But all good things must come to an end as the rain set in for the day. Join us next episode as we navigate our way around the island, catch our first little cat, and continue our mission to dissect 75 animals in Las Perlas. If you'd like to support the work we do and start feeling chuffed, feel free to check out the Patreon link below. Until next time, stay chuffed everybody.